It's really nice to have people gathering again, even in this limited fashion. But we are going to get started on time. We're so thankful for the mayor and other dignitaries to be here today so that we can get started on time. Wow, this is an orderly, organized group. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so before I get into my remarks, I'm Leon Walker, the developer for this project. I want to bring up Alderman Sawyer, who's our host alderman, Alderman Rod Sawyer.
Good morning. Thank you, Leon. This is a great day. I want to welcome everybody to the Chatham community in the Great Sixth Ward. For those that don't know me, my name is Roderick Sawyer, and I serve as Alderman of the Sixth Ward. And I remember being out here just a couple of years ago when the former tenant left. It's going to be like Prince. I'm not going to mention the name. But yeah, the person who shall remain nameless left this site, and there was a lot of despair. But a lot of us had faith. And part of having faith is that knowing that someone in your life is going to come and make things right. And there was a group of people, from the mayor on down to a great developer, and I like to consider my friend, Leon Walker, who came with some great ideas, and as a result, we're here today announcing a new tenant and a new day for the Chatham and the Sixth Ward. But as I stated, faith was important in this. And as Leon and I talked yesterday, one thing that we did want to do was kind of bless this building before we got started. So I was asked to bring along a good friend of ours, a member of the community, pastor in the community, and a resident, the Reverend Will Hall, to bless us in. And then the next voice you hear is none other than the voice of Leon Walker, DL3 Realty.
Let's bow our heads. As we do so, we thank God for the leadership of Alderman Sawyer and State Representative Nick Smith and our mayor. We thank God for their vision and their heart. And we are known as the Windy City, and so God, we thank you for blowing in over 1,000 jobs. Thank you for resurrecting a dead space, and thank you for the lives that will be changed as a result of the work that they do. May we continue to discover ways to work together, to build together, to laugh together, and to love together. And may this be a place of hope, refuge, and may this be a reminder that all things are possible if we take our faith and do some good work. And we ask these things in your name. Amen. Amen.
It's always good to start with a little faith. It's a beautiful day in Chatham.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful day because we have a new neighbor and corporate stakeholder that is poised to make an unprecedented investment, not just in this vacant box, but in our community and our residents. Hard to believe that it's a year ago when COVID and the pandemic struck, and it's that we're standing here today with optimism and hope for our future. At my firm, DL3 Realty, that is what our real estate investment strategy is all about. We develop high-impact commercial real estate investments in our disinvested neighborhoods by working with leading corporate stakeholders, our nonprofit partners, and local government to bring critical services, jobs, and opportunities that create a ripple effect in our neighborhoods. We are stronger together, and we must work together, not just for charitable reasons, even though these kinds of investments are the right thing to do, but because there is a business case. There is a business case for investing in our neighborhoods. And Mayor Lightfoot, I cannot thank you and your administration enough for making the clarion call to our corporate stakeholders and foundations to join the Invest Southwest revitalization effort. While Chicago's downtown is and always will be the heartbeat of our city, it is investments in our neighborhoods that will help us regain the population we need to thrive. To thrive as the economic hub for the state of Illinois, and to continue to thrive as a global 50 city that is a magnet for capital, resources, and talent. Isn't that a future we all want to see?
That's right. That's right.
Well, thank you. Well, that is a future Discover is helping us to usher in today. This investment by Discover will help inspire a new wave of corporate investment, bringing jobs and opportunities and hope back to our neighborhoods, like Chatham. Where as a kid, I used to come up to 87th Street to shop, which then was the Mecca in the 70s for black businesses, where I bought my first record album from Metro Music on 87th Street. And Alderman Sawyer and Alderman Harris. Can you remember getting ice cream at Baskin and Robbins across the street?
Yes.
And the optimism and the hope that was in this neighborhood at the time. With black entrepreneurs like Dempsey Travis making major real estate investments in our community, and the nation's largest black-owned bank just down the street at 79th Street, 79th and Cottage. I'll say the name. When Target announced their closing in the fall of 2018, many of us, I'm not sure if Congressman Rush has made it, I know he was one that was, oh yeah, a lot of hearts were broken, Congressman, as we talked about. But to their credit, they wanted to work with a local developer that they knew had the resolve and the patience to create something special, to make lemons out of lemonade. And that's why today we are mending hearts and taking on a new sense of pride. I want to thank my wife who's here with me today, my mom and our entire DL3 Realty family for supporting this vision and for backing me when I decided to take a risk and work with Target, because they knew I had the faith that we could make something special happen here. Thank you, Roger Hochschild and the entire Discover team for seeing value and opportunity here in Chatham. You answered the call, and I believe you will be rewarded for striking out boldly and investing in our community. Roger, as we discussed over these past few months, I have become very impressed with your leadership team, with the warmth and the integrity and sincerity they have brought to this project and this process. And that is saying a lot for bankers. I am immensely proud to partner with Discover on this project and to know that your passion for diversity, equity, and inclusion is not just a headline, but it is a core value. You see diversity as a strength that is good for business. And we are all proud of our hometown bank for having a commitment to our country, not only during this unprecedented time, but also as being the only major financial institution to have 100% of its customer services centers here in the U.S. And now to make this commitment in Chatham. We are just so proud. Without further ado, please give a warm welcome to the leader of this initiative, Mr. Roger Hochschild, Chief Executive Officer of Discover Financial Services. Roger.
Thanks, Leon, and thanks to all the elected officials who are with us this morning. I'm Roger Hochschild, CEO and President of Discover, and it is wonderful to be here in Chatham with all of you, here on Chicago's South Side, and here along one of the city's thriving commercial corridors. With the support of elected officials, civic and business leaders standing with me, I'm proud to announce that Discover is opening a new customer care center here in Chatham. Discover has a long history in Chicagoland, and we are investing in Chicago's South Side by opening a new customer care center here at 87th Street and Cottage Grove Avenue, bringing 150 full-time jobs to the community by the end of the year, but scaling to nearly 1,000 jobs over the next 4 years when this center is fully operational. We're going to focus specifically on hiring individuals from the Chatham neighborhood and surrounding communities. And these jobs will be part of our award-winning 100% US-based customer service. Our plans for this center have been in the works since 2019, and we're excited to see our vision come to fruition today. Since then, we've seen the impact the racial justice movement of 2020 and the pandemic have had on our employees, on our customers, and our neighbors. Opening this new customer care center is one way Discover can help by delivering on our mission of helping people achieve brighter financial futures, bringing high-quality jobs to local residents, building relationships with nonprofit organizations here in the community, and supporting initiatives that positively contribute to the financial and overall health of community members. We're excited to be bringing jobs that earn an hourly wage starting over $17, and employees will receive Discover's full benefits package, the same healthcare plan that I and the rest of senior management receive, 4 weeks minimum paid time off, a generous 401k retirement plan, career development paths, and the opportunity to receive a fully funded free college education. Working with DL3 Realty, we will build a first-class facility that we hope will be a source of pride for the entire community. The renovations planned will change the building's facade and interior, modernizing this vista. We're designing 5,000 square feet of community space. There will be space for large group gatherings, training and conference rooms, and make this available to local community groups for special events. We'll seek community input from the residents around space usage. And I really appreciate DL3 Realty for their partnership, but also the ownership and care that they have put into this building, making it ready for this investment. I want to talk a bit more about the jobs that will be here. Beyond full-time wages, these positions offer pathways, and my hope is we will attract people excited to build a career at Discover, people who are just launching their careers or people growing in their careers. And over our history, we've seen people start answering the phones and rise to managing over 1,000 people. So these paths to develop within Discover are real. The person who will lead the center is someone who began her career with Discover 10 years ago and has chartered a successful path ever since. Watis Gathings, where are you, Watis?
Don't be shy. Stand up.
Stand up, Watis. Let's hear it for Watis. She will be the Chatham Customer Care Center's Operations Director. She grew up in the Roseland community and has worked in 3 of our different call centers during her 10 years with the company. And the combination of her local roots, experience, and expertise will make her well suited for the role. Visit discover.com/shinebright for information on the new jobs, our hiring forecast, and ways to stay informed about our progress here. So to close, let me say this. The mayor issued a call to action for Chicago companies to bring jobs directly to the communities that need them. And we are answering that call, bringing high-quality jobs here in support of the Invest Southwest, as well as the Together We Rise for an Equitable and Just Recovery initiatives. But bringing jobs and community resources to this area is also what we can do in response to our nation's racial reckoning. People living in Chatham, Greater Grand Crossing, Englewood, Roseland, and other South Side communities have been harmed by systemic racism. This new customer care center is one way Discover can play a part in acknowledging that harm and sparking repair in our own hometown through infrastructure investment, jobs, and philanthropic support. We're grateful for the support of the aldermen, neighborhood leaders, and Mayor Lightfoot's office on this project, in particular Samir Mayakar, who's been a great partner. But it takes an entire village to pull something like this off. World Business Chicago has been a great partner. Leon, of course, and DL3 Realty, our architect, Ramona Westbrook, and finally, our amazing partners with the group Skills for Chicagoland's Future. And I really look forward to Discover's long future as a part of the Chatham community. So thank you. And at this point, it's my pleasure to introduce someone. I am a big fan of hers. And whenever I think I'm having a tough day, I think about what Mayor Lightfoot does each and every day in service for our city and for all of us. And I told her this, and she said, well, at least I can do that for you. So again, wouldn't be here without her, so let's hear it for our wonderful mayor, Lori Lightfoot.
Thank you, Roger. And yes, condolences sometimes feels like the more appropriate sentiment, but today is a day for celebration. Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for being here. Let me start to recognize the other leaders who are here today to participate in this great celebration. Congressman Bobby Rush, Alderman Roderick Sawyer, Alderwoman Michelle Harris, State Representative Nick Smith, and of course, some of the most important people, DL3 Realty President Leon Walker and his team. Thank you, Leon, for your steadfast commitment to Black Chicago. Chicago Cook Partnership CEO Karen Norrington-Reeves. Karen, thank you for being here. And I have to also give a shout out to members of my team who, as you heard, have been really diligent in making sure that this day could be possible. Let me start with Commissioner Maurice Cox, the Commissioner of the Department of Planning and Development. Deputy Mayor Samir Mayakar, who's usually floating, there you are in the back, and Chief Marketing Officer and Acting World Business Chicago leader Michael Fosnack, who's also with us today. Let me also recognize Marie Lynch, CEO of Chicago Skills for Chicagoland's Future. Today is a great day for our city and for the Chatham community. An exciting next step toward fully expanding equity and opportunity across Chicago and unlocking this huge swath of talent in our historically underserved and underinvested communities. This, folks, is what inclusive, equitable development looks like. In order for us to be truly put this terrible pandemic in the rearview mirror and ensure our recovery is as inclusive, equitable, and prosperous as possible. We must seize this moment as an opportunity to foster inclusive economic growth across our entire city, and especially within communities that are struggling the most. That's why we are proud to be joining Discover today to announce plans for its new customer care center, which will undoubtedly serve as a catalyst for the entire Chatham community and surrounding area. Now, you've heard some of the great opportunity this center will provide, but let me highlight them again because they really do bear repeating. Once this center is up and operational by 2024, 1,000 full-time jobs. And 130 starting this year. Starting wages of more than $17 an hour, and as Roger just told you, plus a full benefit package that includes health care, a savings plan, and paid days off. And on top of all that, these employees will also be able to focus on developing their careers through the Discover College Commitment, which offers an opportunity for free college for full-time employees. And as you also heard, Discover will partner with local groups to make a portion of this space available as a community gathering space. This is exactly what expanding equity and opportunity looks like. Our residents deserve not only to have access to good-paying, sustainable jobs, but they also deserve to have access to the resources that they need to map out their entire career path and to obtain upward mobility, and that's exactly what Discover is offering. Finding ways to provide these essential building blocks for our residents, especially those living in neighborhoods like Chatham, is at the core of our Invest Southwest initiative, a $750 million investment in Black and brown neighborhoods across Chicago. Now, I got to depart from the script for a moment because, as you can tell, Reverend Hall got us started off, and I feel a little bit like I'm in church today. You know, when I started as mayor, and I had the audacity to talk about neighborhoods in Chicago, to see Chicago beyond just the downtown area. Now, don't get me wrong, as Leon said, our downtown area is the heart of who we are, and we must make sure we keep strengthening that to make sure that our economic engine continues to pump the lifeblood that we need to be a great city, not only in the States, but in the upper Midwest. But we cannot be a great city. We cannot be a great city if our neighborhoods are starving. And so for those people who doubted what I was saying, thought I was naive, didn't understand business, this is what business looks like. Black and brown people in this city deserve to have good paying jobs. Our neighborhoods deserve to have businesses that bring a catalytic effect and transform them for the better. And when every neighborhood in the city of Chicago has these kinds of opportunities, we are all the better for it. Make no mistake. So, folks, I want you to follow the lead. Those who are listening, the doubters, the people who are the investors in the city, follow the lead of people like Roger and other companies that have understood that making catalytic and transformative investments in our neighborhood is for the better good, and that is what being equitable and inclusive absolutely looks like. So Invest Southwest, even in the midst of this pandemic, we were able to invest $70 million last year. And what was the return on that investment? $300 million in investments in these neighborhoods where we have targeted and said we can do better and we must have public-private partnerships. That is what success looks like. Leveraging the power of public-private sector partnerships to enhance the economic vibrancy of 10 of our most historically underserved communities on the south and the west side. And this customer care center is yet another testament to that vision. To date, Invest Southwest, as I mentioned, has invested $70 million. We've gotten $300 million back from public and other private investment in these communities. It has motivated the corporate community to come together and align their resources with city investment in new, innovative ways. Today's investment is a prime example of that collaboration. Inspired by our city mission to increase investment in South and West Sides, Roger and his team choose to build this customer care center right here in Chatham rather than another state or another country. And he and his team are to be commended for that. Roger, I said this when we talked some weeks ago, and I was first informed of this opportunity here. And I want to say this publicly. Thank you. I want to thank you for betting on Chicago. And as I said, I know that you could have made this investment anywhere in the world that you wanted, and any other community would have been grateful. But you have chosen to build your stake here in Chicago, in Chatham, and set an example of what real civic leadership looks like. And we've got to be thankful for your vision, for your belief, and for your concern and care with building a kind of environment that people can have not only good paying jobs, but build a future on, and we are grateful. People need these good paying jobs. They need jobs with benefits. In this pandemic, we know that even more so than before. And this is a company, ladies and gentlemen, that cares about its people. Some people talk, some people do. And Roger, thank you for doing and believing in Chicago. So folks, Roger's commitment also comes on the heel of other major corporate partners who have chosen Chicago for investment and employment opportunities in underserved neighborhoods. And let me just highlight a couple of them. Blue Cross Blue Shield started this work in Morgan Park and building a healthcare center there, and now recently in Pilsen. Joe Mansueto, who's the primary investor of a new development in West Humboldt Park. These are neighborhoods that need exactly these kind of investments, because when you build it, they will come. They will come, and we're seeing proof of that everywhere. These are catalytic investments that will transform and attract other businesses, other opportunities to these neighborhoods. So I could go on, but I will wind down my comments and just say this is a great day for Chicago. We are celebrating the 184th birthday of our great city, and what a great way to make that special by announcing this incredible opportunity for the residents of Chatham and the greater South Side. It's now my pleasure to welcome my friend, Congressman Bobby Rush, to the podium. Congressman.
Thank you, our great mayor of the city of Chicago. This is a need that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad about it, and certainly glad to be in it. 2.5 years ago, I led a protest march here and in other places. And in reaction to the announcement that Target was closing down its store here in Chatham. And this community was crying tears of sorrow. Tears of sorrow because this place was closing, and it left a gaping hole in this community. And people were sad because they didn't know where they were going to shop and spend their money. But today, those tears of sorrow have been changed into tears of joy, because we have been granted a greater blessing We don't have a place to shop and spend our money. We got a place to work and make some money, earn some money. How great it is. And I certainly want to give tremendous thanks to all those who were involved. But I got to take a special moment to thank my good friend Leon Walker. You know, I call Leon Walker our jobs creating juggernaut. A machine, a job making machine, because I can't count the number of times that I, over the last few years, have been in ceremonies such as this, where Leon has created something, a business or an opportunity for neighborhoods to create jobs. So Mayor, once again, I take my hats off to you. Your vision for the South and the West Side is staggering. Your courage is enormous, and your commitment is catalyzing. You are delivering the goods, you are delivering on your promise, you are delivering jobs to the South Side, to the West Side of the city of Chicago, and thank you so very much for jobs, and a job well done.
Back to you.
Yes.
Okay.
I got a little bit emotional there, Congressman Rush. Thank you for that recognition. We're now going to hear from Skills for Chicagoland. Maureen?
Good morning. I have to admit, I had trouble sleeping last night. I was so excited about today, and it's great to be here. I want to start by acknowledging Cook County Commissioner Stanley Moore, who walked in, I think, a few minutes late. So I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you. So much has been said today, and I want to highlight three things in the brief time I have. One is I want to talk about an amazing problem that gets solved by Discover's efforts. Two, I want to give you a little insight into the true depth of the values of Discover since we've been alongside with them for a year and a half. And three, I want to talk about, most important, the jobs and how to get them. Just in terms of the problem, what to solve, Skills for Chicagoland's future, we work with over 50 companies to put unemployed into work. We put over 1,200 people into jobs every year. But one of the main problems that all workforce organizations have across the city is that there's a transportation issue for job seekers. And I will tell you personally, having been in this business for 12 years, it has been like a personal dream of mine for years that employers would actually put their locations where there's actual workers who are looking for jobs. We have corridors which are saturated in the south suburbs and the north suburbs that you can see, and yet here's the jobs. And by actually locating where the job seekers are, it is an incredible opportunity for people to be able to have the same short commute, to have more time with their family, to be in your community, to be able to get home for that dinner time, to get home for that homework, to be able to run to the doctor with your kid. And that's what you're doing today, is you're changing lives, not just with jobs, but by the quality of that life that the person has. And so this today means so much. And so thank you for that. Second, I want to talk about Discover and their values. We've been alongside them for a year and a half, and it's been an honor. We've not been able to say their name for a year and a half, so it's so nice to feel free today to actually share that. My husband didn't even know until this morning. But I want to tell you a little bit about just their values, because they're a new neighbor here, and you don't necessarily know truly who they are, that they've done all the outreach. But I want you to know I've been able to see them firsthand. And this is in Roger's heart, and this is in his leadership team's heart, and it is a part of this team. And what struck me, and I told Samir when I was first able to have the conversation with him, is I said, Samir, I said, Discover and Roger are the real deal. Like, this is real. Like, they want to do everything right in this. And what really struck me is all the amazing questions they've asked, and that they wanted to be invited in. They didn't want to drop in. And so I tell you, every step of the way, their ears are open. They are extraordinary leaders. They are trying to absolutely do the right thing, but they want to do right by the community. And so I think you will enjoy that. And I just want to give an endorsement to them as human beings, as people, and their commitment to DEI. Finally, let's talk about the jobs, which I get so excited about. We've talked about them. There's 1,000 jobs. There's 125 that are coming this year. And Discover is prioritizing working with organizations like Skills and, frankly, many, many more community-based organizations. In fact, on March 8th, we have a call already with over 450 community-based organization partners who are participating, who want to be a part of linking up to be able to get people into jobs. And so we're thrilled about doing that, and we're committed to working with the community on that. I also wanted to comment on the fact that what you heard today over and over again, it's not just a job, but it's a career pathway, and it's a quality job. And so it's a wonderful opportunity, and there's a wide range of available positions that you will see as part of this. So while the hiring kicks off, ChicagoShineBright.com or SCFjobs.com is where you can go right now for individuals who are interested in finding those jobs. It starts today, the search for great talent.
You got to repeat that one more time.
Yep, I will, Mayor. So for those of you looking for jobs who are interested and want to monitor this, go to ChicagoShineBright.com or scfjobs.com. You can look at that today and start to see what's available. Stay engaged with that so you can see additional jobs which come on over time. If you are a community-based organization wants to participate and get your job seekers into jobs, you can also register there today, now as well, so that you can get pulled into the mix. You can participate in the call on March 8th to be a part of this. So while this has been an absolute dream of so many, and certainly all of you have touched on that today, I want to say thank you again to Discover. Thank you to the Mayor's Office for making this happen. Thanks to WBC for jumping in and being a partner in that. And thanks to Discover for having the absolute strength to be a part of finding the very outstanding community here in Chatham to make this all happen. Thank you. I have one more. So I'm remiss. I'm supposed to do one more introduction. So Alderman Harris, thank you if you can close us out. Thank you.
Good morning. How's everybody? Look, I am so fortunate to have a great seatmate and a great neighbor. Rod and I kind of grew up together doing politics because of his daddy and because of my aunt. And in fact, my office is right across the street. Today, I am so thrilled to have Discover here with us. I think they have already taken it to the next level in the terms of committing and working with communities and working with everybody to embrace them. And today, the website couldn't be more appropriate. The sun is truly shining on that 6th ward this morning, even though I'm in the 8th ward. But certainly it's shining really bright in this corner. This corner will come back to life. It will begin to change, and we will have that trickle-down economy that we need in order to attract other businesses to this corridor. Rod and I've sat over in that office 30 years when it was Polk Brothers. Remember Polk Brothers? A little grocery store, Radio Shack. So I'm gonna age myself, so I'm gonna stop. But I am thrilled. I wanna thank the mayor for her leadership in this process, and she is truly keeping her word. So we are so grateful, and I'm closing with my good friend Leon. He has transformed Inglewood, Morgan Park, Roseland, Calumet Heights, and if I keep going, he's going to transform every blighted community on the South Side. So I want to thank him for his leadership and his commitment to communities that are not perfect, but all they need is just the right little push to get them over the edge. And so he is a fabulous developer, and I commend him for all his good work and for hanging in on tight with the Black community. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for those words. Congressman Rush, Thank you for acknowledging it. It's right, he and I have been through some tough ones and some great ones together. Mayor Lightfoot, thank you. Thank you for really shining a light on our neighborhoods and the need for corporate investment. For years, we've been out here sometimes feeling like we're in the wilderness, and it's your presence, your focus, and your attention on this need that has really made the difference. Commissioner Cox, thank you for your leadership in the Department of Planning. Of course, Samir, thank you. Rod, we got to win today. We got to win today. So it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Thank all of you for joining us. Commissioner Moore, thank you for coming. Nick Smith, thank you for being here, and so many others who are supporting this. Roger, you've got a fan base. You've got a great support system. I'll be a cheerleader for you all the way to the finish line and beyond. So thank you all for really making this a special announcement, and we look forward to a brighter future in Chatham and the South Side. Thank you for coming. I think we're going to take some pictures now. Yeah. Have a good day.
All right, Mayor, our first question is from Kristen Schorsch at BEZ. What are your thoughts about the potential buyer for Mercy Hospital and the city's involvement in it?
Well, we're just learning about the particulars, and obviously that has to go through both a bankruptcy process and a state licensing process. So I got information about it yesterday. It looks promising, but there's a lot of questions that are going to need to be answered.
Great. Our next question from Craig Wall at ABC7. We're hearing complaints about people unable to get through the phone lines this morning for the United Center. Do you have a reaction to that?
Yeah, look, what I know is about 6,000 people have already registered through the phone and through ZocDoc, the online application. I would just ask people to be patient. You know, it's the first opportunity. I think we got a lot of enthusiastic people, but we'll get to folks. We just need them to be a little bit patient today, as both the phone lines and the online platform process their applications.
Great. Our last question from Craig Dellamore. Can you comment on the selection of Congresswoman Robin Kelly as the new Illinois Democratic Party chair? Well,
Robin Kelly is a dear friend. And I think will be a great dynamic leader. I also want to commend Alderwoman Michelle Harris, also a great friend, and State Senator Christina Castro, either of whom would have also been great leaders for the Democratic Party. I've said this before, and this is what I think. This is a great opportunity for new leadership to take the party in a very different direction, to modernize it, build up our social media assets, but also build a pathway for young people to participate in state party and make sure that people all across the state, not just in Cook County or the northern part of the state, but all across the state, see and feel the reach of the Democratic Party, because we are supporting candidates up and down the ballot all across the state. So I think this is a tremendous opportunity. I know Robin will be a phenomenal leader, and I pledge to her my full support in making her and making the party successful.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.